Hey y'all, this is Sergeant Dan with Palmetto Edge. I've got one of Kershaw's new ones here for you today. This is the Decibel. Just came out not too long ago. I think Kershaw announced them at last year's Blade Show, or showed them at last year's Blade Show. I think I might be wrong about that. They're just now coming out, so let me get it compared to some other blades here. I go for some of my standard ones as usual. There is the Paramilitary 2, the Benchmade Bug Out. Let's see. Let's compare it with my new Para 3 here, just so I can show it off to you. So as you can see, it's even a little bit smaller than the Para 3. And just for the fun of it, let's compare it against something huge. There's the Sheepdog XL from Kaiser. All right, that was fun. All right, let's get some specifications out of the way here. Overall length on this is 6 3/4 inches with a 3-inch blade length. It is like most Kershaws, at least around this price point, 8CR13 MOV steel. It is has steel frame with let's see, these are some kind of a metal backspacer that's this anodized blue, along with this pivot collar here. Let's see, made in China, of course, as most Kershaws are. I mean, there are quite a lot that are made in the USA, but this is not one of them. I guess you could say that's a Warncliffe style blade. Warncliffe, modified sheep's foot, reverse Tanto. I don't know. It's one of those. Okay, that's the kind of family it's in. Got this cool, real nice gray coating on both the frame and the blade. Matter of fact, I think they're the same. Let me get this hair out of it here. The same coating that's on both. It's definitely the same color, obviously, but I think it's the same material. Let's see. These are stainless. The handle's stainless steel. It is a right or left hand tip up carry. So lefties, they kind of got you a little covered there. Frame lock. Let's see. Of course, thumb stud open. That's probably about it for specifications. So yeah, let me get into the review. No, I didn't. I was about to say I pre-ordered this one. No, I did not. I don't think this one was even up for pre-order. But not long after they came out, I got one. Mainly because I just like the looks of it. It's a really, really cool looking knife. And, really for me, that's about the category for my purpose, for my uses. That's about where I put it, is in something that's more like a gentleman's carry, which this really kind of looks like to me. Something that looks nice, that's not all big and scary and all kinds of tactical and stuff like that. It's a come on now. That's one thing I'm going to make a point on is what just happened there. So that's coming. It's not really tactical looking. It's not all big and scary. It's a nice size for a gentleman's carry. It's nice deployment for a gentleman's carry. Okay, I mean, you see, you can, well, when you do it right, it can, and with some wear in. When I first got it, I couldn't flick it open, but it can be flicked open. But then again, also, it can just be opened real gently, taken care of, closed two-handed real gently. It's kind of gentlemanly to me. Let's see. I said it was 8CR13 MOV steel, which for the price point, for where this falls within Kershaw's price range and all, that's absolutely fine. I know there's people out there that hate 8CR13. I know what you mean. I hate Alsate, okay? If a blade is made with Alsate, I generally try to avoid it, okay? About the only knife I have that I like that is my, Boker Strike, okay? So I totally get hating a particular steel, but for me, HCR13 MOV is not really one of those steels. I much prefer it over Alsate, and I'm happy they used it instead of Alsate, okay? It feels good in the hand. For the most part, the pocket clip here, see how it comes up so kind of a good bit and kind of aggressively. That does give a little bit of a hot spot right there, okay, because that's kind of, when I'm holding it, that's where it falls for me, is just right on that knuckle. Okay, so that is hot spotty, okay, but beyond that, it's a really good grip. I can get all four fingers on it. Okay, so it's a full 4-finger grip, plus it's got this jimping up top here for thumb rest. It's real easy to get to the lock. A lot of times with liner locks, frame locks, something like that, something's kind of looked over and that might be a little hard to get to. That's not the case with this one. It is real easy to get to, real easy to disengage and get this knife shut, okay? Blade centering is absolutely perfect. The edge on it is great. I have sharper knives, but I've also gotten much, much duller knives, okay? Even from Kershaw. Kershaw has, here in recent years, in my opinion, really, really stepped up their game. About the same way I feel for CRKT this year. CRKT, to me, in the past has just been mostly junk stuff. But here this year, CRKT's been stepping it up. And that's about the way I feel with Kershaw here in the past 3, 4, or 5 years. They've finally figured something out and stepped their game up. The fit and finish on this is absolutely wonderful. I got no blade play on this. There are no sharp or rough edges on anything. Everything fits together wonderfully. Even this backspacer, it's just so, it fits in there so nice. Now here's one thing. I mean, why couldn't they make it, go back in there? But what? Even at that, it's not like it's a sharp edge sticking out there. Okay, the texturing on it's great. The color's great. The blue with the gray is just absolutely beautiful looking, in my opinion. One cool little design feature here is they got the Kershaw logo on the inside of the frame over there. So you see, you got this window you can see through. On the inside of it there it says Kershaw. And that is the only place on this thing where it says Kershaw. If this were a SOG, it'd say SOG here and SOG here, and probably have that SOG there, but then it'd say SOG here and SOG on the pocket clip and probably a SOG over here somewhere. Okay, but the only place on this thing where it even says Kershaw is hidden when the blade's closed. Okay, I mean, you still got the KAI right there, okay, but the only place it says Kershaw can be seen only when the blade is open. This design is really, really cool looking. If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy last year at SHOT Show, at Blade Show, when they were talking about this one, said that the inspiration for this one was like old cassette tapes and old stereos in cars and stuff like that, and that's where the name Decibel came from. So I mean, it's a really, really beautiful, good looking knife. It is a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's like I said, it's a gentleman's carry. It's a nice little knife for that. That's what I was forgetting. Okay, so if you want to open it, you can open it fairly normally that way. But if you want to flick it open, okay, you have to hold it a specific way, and that way was kind of awkward for me to get used to, okay? Because this is how I want to hold it. And if you'll see, my finger is pressing down on that lock bar, okay? So when that happens, that's not going to flick out. I find that I have to place my finger intentionally up here to get it to do, and then even then, I don't have a consistent flick open deployment. I mean, sometimes, you know, once you get in the practice of it, you do, okay, but yeah, you kind of have to hold it a little awkward, in my opinion, and by having to hold it a little awkward that way, that gets the pocket clip in another, well, you can see on my fingers here, okay, where having to hold things a little weird, you know, but, you know, again, it's a cheaper end Kershaw, okay? So with that being said, let me talk about the price. Price right now for these on Blade HQ is $37. And that's what I paid for it. I'm happy I got it for that. It's a really, really, really nice knife. I don't really have too many knives that I would consider a gentleman's carry, but then again, I don't go too many places or to too many events where I would need a gentleman's carry. Most of my carries are, you know, more tactical things like this, or, you know, it's I don't really have the need for a gentleman's carry, but if I were to, come on, focus. If I were to, I have something that now can fit in that category. So yeah, $37. I'm happy I got it. I really love the way it looks. It has its purposes. One thing I didn't touch on, I absolutely love this blade shape. I don't care who makes the knife. I love these blade shapes, okay? They work really good for me for what I typically use knives for. They work great. So that's definitely something that falls in my love category about this. If you're looking for something that is a little more utilitarian, around the same price point, okay, you got your Kershaw Cryo 2. I've had this one for a long time and put it through the ringer, and it's still going, okay. I absolutely love this one, and this is, like I said, more of a utility knife than this is. But if you don't really need a utility knife, if you're looking for something that looks good, that, you know, maybe the most it'll do is, you know, every couple of days open up a letter or a package, or, you know, trim some loose strings off some clothing or something. If that's all you ever truly, honestly use a knife for, then this would be a perfect one for you under the $50 price point. Now, granted, under that price point, there's plenty of other options out there. So, I mean, shop around, of course, but I can tell you for sure that this is a good option for you. It feels good. Other than the pocket clip, it feels good in the hand. It's got a smooth, easy deployment, whether you want to open it, you know, gently, or whether you want to flick it open, okay? It's a absolutely wonderful blade shape. It looks good. You know, for the price point, the HCR13 MOV steel is fine. So, yeah, I mean, you know, yes, I've got my complaints about it, but, you know, for what it's worth, for what you pay for it, for what, you know, the biggest thing is understanding that this is not going to be a Spyderco. This is not going to be a Benchmade. This is not going to be a ZT, okay? It's just not. It's not going to hold up to those standards. So when you accept that it's a sub $50 Kershaw, then this is a great knife for a sub $50 Kershaw, okay? So if you're looking for something along the lines of this, I can definitely give you my recommendation on this one. If you're wanting something a little more utilitarian, look out there and see what it is. I've already shown you one. It's the Kershaw Cryo 2, okay? It's about the same price point, and this is definitely more of a beater than this would be, okay? So, yeah, great little knife from Kershaw. If you're like me and you just a knifeaholic, absolutely get you one. It'd be a beautiful and great addition to your collection. If you're someone that's looking for a gentleman carry, a cheap gentleman carry, there's you one. You know, I do recommend this one. So yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my Instagram. It's @PalmettoEdge, and y'all have a good one.